everyone, it's Grace and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm excited to do this video. Finally, I had the time to do a YouTube video because I've been really swamped with work. But yeah, so this is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Foundation. I got mine from Lazada. It just arrived today. I never really tried the other Infallible foundations, so I don't really have like an idea how they work or how the others like performed. So it's only this one. I don't know how many shades they have. I should put it here on the screen. 24 fresh finish, cover imperfections, no transfer. I doubt that. No shine, no dry out, and no mask effect. And I have mine in I have mine in 125 Natural Rose. And yeah, so when I first saw this earlier, I was kind of concerned because of how light it looks, because I was scared to get true beige because foundations tend to oxidize on me. Oh yeah, it only comes wrapped around like this and just looks like this. I was scared to go for true beige mainly because it looked like a very big jump. So yeah, although this one is looking really pale. Primed this side of my face. I primed the left side just so to see if like the oil control is good on the foundation alone, if worn alone, or like of course if you know like primer will help. I used the Maybelline Blur Plus Smooth primer. So this is the one with the primer. The right side has no primer. I like the fact that it comes with a pump. This is looking very sleek. That is very runny. That's a very small swatch for you guys to see how runny it is. So I'm just gonna see. That is runny. That's one of my most runny foundations. I'm gonna start the side with no primer. And the shade is not looking too bad now that it's out. So discolored. I hope it's okay. Okay, so you guys could see the condition of my skin. There's like, you know, acne scarring and stuff, but there's not a lot of roughness. Not a lot of, hindi na siya ganun kagaspang. With the foundation, without, to be honest, for something that is runny, I didn't expect that much coverage. It actually evened out my skin really nicely. Feels very, very nice and thin on the skin. Actually quite impressed. I'm just gonna put some on my forehead. I forgot. But like I barely needed much. You guys could see. And I've only like pumped a few drops. So that's a good thing. It's quite fragrant though. May amoy siya guys. Pero hindi siya yung nananampal na amoy. Alam niyo yun? Yung mga ganong foundation na, oh my god, alam mo yun, minsan amoy roses pa. So this is one layer. That's not bad. So I'm gonna do this side. This side again is with primer. So okay, so this is the first layer. But honestly guys, I wouldn't think I would need a second layer, and it feels really, really nice on the skin. Like there's a certain tackiness to it. I can still feel it, but it's actually set pretty nicely without making my face look dry. Alam mo yun, hindi niya masyado minamattify, which I appreciate. So that's good. So it almost has more of like a satin finish. There's may dew pa rin sa kanya. Like if I would have it my way, I'll keep it as is. I still have quite a bit on the back of my hand. Pero I just wanted to see kung talagang layerable. Ay, excuse me. Ayan. So, tapos na. It feels very, very light on the skin. It covered my imperfections really well. Pinsin ko lang, it's not really good with covering the really, really red pimples, but overall even out your skin. It's so nice. It's matte but not being too matte. So I'll just finish the rest of my makeup and I'll get back to you guys. Okay, my makeup's done and everything just applied really, really nicely. My skin is not too matte looking, and I just love it. As you guys could see, the foundation did oxidize a bit and matched me a little bit more perfectly. So it is now 3:44 p.m. It is quite late, but I'll be working for maybe until like 12 midnight so I can like really test this, and plus I'm leaving tomorrow. And yeah, so this is how it looks like 3:44. I hope it wears well because application wise it feels like a very promising foundation. So yeah. Hey everyone, it's Grace, and I think it's been 6 hours since it's been 6 hours and 20 minutes since I applied my foundation, and I did a clip of me blotting it. So that's how it looks like. To be honest, the difference between the one with the primer and the side without the primer didn't really have a big difference, although this one appeared a little bit more oily but not that oily. So I guess it has pretty good oil control considering the other side had primer but didn't really like look any different. And then also it actually wore really nice. Like everything is still intact. My blush is intact, my highlight's intact, bronzer is still there, and everything. And it actually feels really light on the face. And this one I was mainly like cooking, so I was out under like fire a lot. I was baking like half of the day, so it held up really well. I barely stayed in air-conditioned rooms, and I just had like an electric fan, so it held up pretty nicely. So I'll be using this again tomorrow, and so far so good. Hi guys, so it is day 2 of me using the L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour Fresh Wear foundation, and I actually used a setting spray today, the all-nighter pollution protection. I'm gonna use a different setting spray. The last time I blotted was around 3 o'clock, 3:30, so it's already 9:30. So yeah, it's actually quite oily now, like, so yeah. Hi guys, so nakatulog ako, and this is the 3rd day of me using the L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour Fresh Wear foundation. Super oily na siya guys, and it's a bit too oily. I had my makeup since 12:30. Yeah, 12:30. It is now 9:25, and I didn't blot the whole day, and I was under the sun, and I can see the foundation kind of disappearing here. Pero yeah, it still looks flawless. If you like blot it, it still looks pretty good. So it's actually holding up pretty well. I already fell asleep, so some of the coverage is kind of missing, but this is going to be the last check-in for the L'Oreal Fresh Wear. It is now 12 midnight. I did my makeup quarter to 11 in the morning, so it actually lasts for a long time. You guys could see. There you go. Still looks good. Post crying. I guess I remembered my dad really badly today. I was planning to like film my final thoughts for the L'Oreal one, but I'm not gonna do it looking like this. But I do want to share with you guys how good it still looks after it's at 12 hours. So yeah. Hi guys, so it's been 2 weeks since I've used the L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour Fresh Wear foundation. If you're new to my channel, I use my foundations minimum of 2 weeks, maximum of 2 months. I think that's the longest I've tried like testing out a foundation, because foundation, it's very hard to like recommend, because even if I've used it for a long time and I love it, it will not work the same for you. And if it works the same for you, then that's great. But yeah, that's why I like to test it. And I used to do first impressions, but now I don't do it as much. So yes, fresh finish, cover imperfections, no transfer. That is not correct, although it doesn't transfer as much as other foundations, so I think that's a good thing. No shine, no dry out, no mask effect. With the drying out, yes, I don't feel like it's a matte foundation without being too matte, but it is matte without being too dry on your skin, and I just love it. So it's a very, very lightweight foundation. If you pump this out, it's quite runny, and I just love it because it's natural finish, it's lightweight, and it covers your imperfections. It covers redness really, really well. It covers dark spots really well without being cakey or feeling anything in on your face, which is great. And the thing that I love about this, because I've used foundations before, if I've used it for quite a long time, like maybe for, if it's more than 8 hours now, my skin will feel icky, or even in the middle of the day, my skin will start to feel icky or itchy, and I would die to remove my makeup. As in, gusto ko siyang tanggalin kapag ganon. So this one, I love it. It never gave me that problem, and my skin seems to be doing okay with it, so hopefully it will continue. But yeah, and the thing that I noticed about this, my problem with a lot of foundations lately, lagi sila nagsisettle sa smile lines ko. So there's only like a few foundations that I've tried that doesn't settle, and after like the whole day of wearing this, it never settled into my fine lines. It did, but it's not so much. That's like almost like, I don't know, like 15 hours of wearing it. It settled a tiny bit, but most of the time it doesn't settle, which is great. So the other one, it's easy to blend. I think it comes with it being liquidy. At first, since it was kind of runny, I was scared that it won't offer a lot of coverage, and I do like more on the coverage since I am struggling with acne, scarring, pimples, so I do want to look flawless from time to time. But yeah, it's easy to blend, and I never had problems with it. I've used sponge and a brush with it, and it works fine, although I recommend using it with a sponge more, mainly because I feel like with sponges it soaks a lot of product and it's runny on its own already. So yeah, it has good oil control. I have to blot maybe 4 to 5 hours, which is normal for me, but 4 to 5 hours, but it doesn't look greasy. It's like it's mainly oily in the T-zone area. Usually with other foundations, even my cheeks will start to get oily, but with this one it didn't, so that's a good thing. So I really, really like that. You need the smallest amount. Sometimes if it's a good skin day, I would only use like half a pump, or if I need more coverage on that day, a little bit over of half a pump, or if I want full coverage, a pump. So which is great. So the thing is, speaking of pumps, I love the pump that came with it. You can control and dispense the right amount of product. I know there's some pumps out there that it's kind of hard to control. This pump is really, really easy to control. I barely waste any product with this one. Actually, I don't waste any product with this one because I can control it really, really nicely, so that's nice. Okay, there's a few cons that I don't like about this. The shade range. So I had a hard time, like, because I was buying this online because I do want to get my hands on it like as soon as possible. I had a hard time with the shades kasi ang laki ng jump. There's a big jump from this shade to this shade, and it's like a different tone. It's like I don't know if that's the same in the US, but the shade range is a bit off because it's like there's a big jump from this shade to this shade, and like this shade, like this 125 Natural Rose, is like a pinky neutral undertone, while the next shade to it is darker and like very almost golden yellow undertone. So it's hard to find the in-between shades, and with me, I'm kind of in between shades, so it's kind of hard to find the shade. And speaking of the shade or the foundation tends to oxidize, so if you're prone to that, I highly recommend you guys picking up a shade a tad bit lighter. So that's why I picked up 125 Natural Rose. Like when I start doing my makeup, it looks really, really white, but once I bronze up and after I wear it the whole day, it's oxidized by the time. So overall, I think the L'Oreal Fresh Wear foundation is pretty awesome. I think this is my new favorite foundation. I've been obsessed with this and I've been using it and I just love it. It's just so natural looking, and this one is a bit more full coverage today. If you're looking for a medium to full coverage foundation, natural finish, being lightweight, and has pretty good oil control, I highly recommend the L'Oreal Fresh Wear foundation. So I hope you guys like my review for the L'Oreal Fresh Wear foundation. Please don't forget to click the subscribe button down below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys for the next video. Bye!